press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello everyone. Today let us discuss about life processes. So before going to start this chapter, let us discuss about how do we call an organism living in case if it is alive. And you all have may noticed the difference between the organisms being alive and dead, right? So how we consider an organism is alive? In case of animals, if you consider animals, in case if the animals, they are walking, they are running, they are talking, there will be some sort of movements. In that case, we will consider these animals are alive. But what about in case of sleeping? So if the animal, whatever the animal is, if it is sleeping, then what we notice? We notice the breathing of that animal, right? There will not be any movements while sleeping. So we notice the breathing of that animal. This was about animals. Then coming to the plants. So in plants, what will you notice? You will notice the leaves which are fresh green in color in case of some plants, and in some other plants the color may be differed too. So you will notice the leaves are fresh, and also you will notice the growth rate, right? You will notice the growth, development of that plant. For example, ನೀವು ಮನೇಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಿಡ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಓಕೆ, ನೀವೇ ಇಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಗಿಡ ಮನೇಲಿ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀರ. ಸೊ ಆ ಗಿಡ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ನೀವು ದಿನ ಹೋಗಿ ಆ ಗಿಡ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರ. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಡೈಲಿ. ಸೊ ನಾಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಡೈಲಿ ಬೇಸಿಸ್, at least weekly some centimeters may increase, hauda, some growth may increase in that plant. In that condition, you will consider that the plant is alive, okay, the leaves will be fresh, okay, and you will see the growth rate, the plant is alive. In case that plant, if it gets dry, okay, the leaves, when the leaves get dry and that plant growth will be stopped, then you will consider that the plant is dead. You will get a new plant there, right? So here you will notice the differences like being alive and being dead, like movements, whether it is growth related or not, movements, and this is the basic evidence for an organism to be alive. You will consider this as basic evidences. So these movements we can see through our eyes, right? So we will consider that they are alive. What about the molecules? So what about the molecular movements which takes place in our body? Not only in our body, in all living organisms the molecular movement will take place. Then what about that? We can't see them through our eyes, they are not naked. So are these molecular movements necessary for life? Are these molecular movements necessary Are these molecular movements necessary? If you ask this question to any professional biologist, they will say that these molecular movements are necessary for life. Then how? If you consider virus also, in virus they will not show any molecular movement till they infect a cell. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋವರೆಗೂ it will not show any molecular movements. So this is why there is a controversy whether the virus is alive or not. So this is one case. Coming back to the question, why these molecular movements are necessary? I think till now you have studied that the multicellular organisms, like more complex organisms, have specialized organs and organ system for the processes, for different sort of life processes, right? For if you consider the organ system So consider human beings. So we have a organ system, and each organ system will perform a special function, that is one of the life processes. Okay, consider organ system. Organ system is made up of organs. A group of organs will create an organ system, right? And organs are made up of different type of tissues. ಇಲ್ಲಿ organs are made up of different type of tissues, and tissues, the group of cells are together are called as tissues. I think you all know that, right? Then cells are made up of what? So cells are made up of all together, like throughout the protoplasm which we consider, it will together make a cell. What is present in the protoplasm then? Protoplasm contains nucleus and also the cytoplasm, and the cytoplasmic components like endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, ribosomes, plastids, like whatever the cell apparatus which are present, they will be in a cytoplasm, and together cytoplasm along with the nucleus is a protoplasm, and for that protoplasm there will be a boundary called cell membrane. So whole together it will make a cell. So cell apparatus together will make a cell over here, right? So can you notice that there is a organized order arrangement, okay, organized ordered nature in the living organism if we consider multicellular organism. So cell apparatus will together will form a cell to tissue, tissue to organ, organ to organ system. There is a organized ordered nature. And again coming back to the question, are molecular movements necessary? So here this order, whatever the order is present, like cell apparatus is there, and each and everything is made up of molecules. So here molecules will build up the ordered nature here. Whatever the till organ system, everything is made up of molecules. And in the environment, okay, in the environment which we live here, any changes takes place, any variations takes place in the environment. In case, okay, any changes takes place, this order have the chances to break down or to get damaged. ಹೌದಾ, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಮೇ ಗೆಟ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಪರೇಟಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್. Okay, cell will affect the tissue, tissue will affect the organ, organ will affect the organ system. So here if any small changes appears, it will affect, it will trouble the whole body. Okay, and for this damage there must be some repair mechanism, maintenance mechanism, right? And this repair and maintenance will take place under the control of molecular movements. These molecular movements are responsible for the repairing as well as maintenance of the body, or else for the maintenance of this organized ordered nature. Okay, so I think hope you all got the answer for this. Molecular movements are necessary for the repairing as well as for the maintenance of life. So I am repeatedly telling about maintenance, right? Maintenance, then what is maintenance? Okay. Coming to the question, what is maintenance? Here maintenance is a sort of process, okay. Maintenance, it is a sort of process which takes place in all living organisms. like certain life processes. If you consider, then what is life process? If it is the question here, there will be a group of processes which together perform maintenance job is called as life processes. So this is about the maintenance. And if you consider human beings, okay, we talk, we walk, we run, we do lot of activities, and for this the maintenance is required. As well as if we sit in a relaxed mode, okay, if we are sitting in a relaxed mode with a phone, mobile phone, or else if we are watching the TV, then also we need this maintenance process, because we will interact with our environment, we will interact with our surrounding, right? For that also we need maintenance process. Then how does maintenance process work? Doesn't it need energy, right? For every activities there must be some energy needed, right? For maintenance also energy is needed. Then where do this energy get from? Where do this energy get from for our body? So if it is the question, then energy will be present, okay, energy will be present in the environment in the source of food. So here energy will be present in the source of food. If we consider food are in the form of chemical molecules, okay. For every activities we need energy, and energy will be present in the form of source. The source of energy will be present in the environment, and this energy we will get this from the outer source as food. We will eat the food to gain energy, okay. Here food is important, then food will be in the form of chemical molecules, okay. And these chemical molecules, they will supply for the repair and maintenance of an body, okay. It will supply it will supply for repair and maintenance of whole body. So here food is of different types, okay, and this food, whatever I said, the chemical molecules, they will be of different types, different complexities, but the food is of carbon source, okay. The food will be in the carbon source, and based on the complexity of carbon source, the different organisms will involve in a different nutritional process. Here nutritional, what is this nutritional? So nutrition is one of the life process where the chemical molecules are supplied, or else they are involved in the formation of energy inside the body, okay. And these chemical molecules, they will help for the repair and maintenance process. So one of the life processes here, nutrition. So here nutrition is one of the life process, okay. We will get the source of energy, that is food, from the outer environment. Here in the outer source of energy, the outer energy must be taken and it must be broken down and uniformly separate and uniformly segregated and ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ಲಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ನ ತೊಗೊತೀವಿ, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಬ್ರೋಕನ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ it must form a uniform energy, so that each and every cell in the body must get that energy, must utilize that energy. So for example, if we take carbohydrates, so before that how this energy is produced, let us discuss that. So consider a plant, okay. So there is a plant over here. So consider this as a plant. it will get the outer source of energy, that is sunlight. It will use the sunlight as a source of energy, and it will utilize inorganic molecule compounds like water and carbon dioxide. Okay, water and carbon dioxide, they will prepare food, that is they will prepare carbohydrates. Okay, so they will prepare. So these carbohydrates, it will generate the energy process. These carbohydrates will be in a units, and like glucose, the glucose will be utilized for the formation of energy. So here the plant will produce its own food. Next, coming to the herb animals. Okay, so here animals, one of the animal is herbivorous. Okay, these herbivorous animals will consume the plants. They will consume the plants. Here they will get the source of energy, that is plants. The plants are the source of energy, food. And there are one more animals like carnivorous. Okay, these carnivorous will feed on herbivorous. For example, cow or else the deer, it will feed on grasses or else plants, right? And carnivorous, we will take lion as an example. Lion, it will feed on cow or else deer. Here the complexity of the carbon sources will differ, right? Plants, they will use inorganic molecules or inorganic compounds, and animals, some animals will consume plants and some will consume the flesh of other animals. Here the complexity of the carbon source will differ, and depending on this complexity, animals have different type of nutritional process. Okay, so energy ಹೇಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, plant will prepare its own food. So herbivorous will feed on plants and carnivorous will feed on herbivorous. So this is a sort of source of energy, and this source of energy will lead to the formation of energy inside the body. We will generate the energy by using this source of energy. And here I said, let us take one more example, that is, if we eat carbohydrates, like human beings, if we eat carbohydrates, so carbohydrates andre we will eat rice. Okay, if we eat rice, so in that carbohydrates will be present, and this is the source of energy for us. And this source of energy must be broken down to form a uniform source of energy. This must be broken down into glucose. Okay, so the glucose are monosaccharides, they are units of carbohydrates, right? So carbohydrates must broke down to glucose, and this glucose are utilized by the cells. Okay, the glucose ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, so it is utilized by all the cells which are present in the body, and these cells will generate the energy. Okay, inside the cell, so carbohydrate will enter inside the cell, and inside the cell there are certain sort of reactions will take place, like oxidizing, reducing reactions will take place. Okay, like energy will be produced from this not only from oxidizing, reducing, reactions, there are other chemical reactions will also takes place in the cell. Through that the energy will be produced, and for this oxidizing reducing reaction oxygen is needed. Okay, O2, oxygen is needed. Then where do this oxygen get from? ನಮಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇದು ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಚ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸಸ್ we must get that oxygen. So we have a separate process for that. We inhale the oxygen, we respire the oxygen, and this oxygen will reach the organs in our body, respiratory organs, and there the oxygen will diffuse and it will reach all the cells. So here another life process, that is respiration. ಎರಡು process ಆಯಿತು. So nutrition is a process where the outer source of energy, that is food, is broken down, and the broken down whatever the uniform energy is present, it will be converted into a energy inside the body. The source of energy is converted into energy which is generated in our body by the help of respiration. Here oxygen is necessary for the oxidizing reducing reaction. So here oxygen is inhaled by the respiration, so it is also a life process. Here if we talk about definition then about respiration, the process where the breakdown of complex food molecules to generate the energy is called respiration. So it is the process. Okay, and okay, till now we eat food, right? Whatever we discussed, we eat food and we inhale the oxygen. So here two sources we get from environment, right? So ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ like food and oxygen, it must reach each and every cell. So ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಲ್ಗೂ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. The cell must utilize this energy. Then ಹೇಗೆ? Because we eat through our mouth and it will reach the stomach and intestine. In the stomach and intestine digestion will take place, and the breakdown of complex molecules will happen. Then they will form a simple molecules that must reach the cell. One point. Another, we inhale the oxygen through our nose and it will reach the trachea and lungs. In lungs the diffusion must take place. Okay, diffusion will take place, then oxygen will be released inside our body. Okay, then here stomach, I need a source of energy to my hand. Here certain cells are present. Here I need oxygen as well as energy. Okay, or else the molecules I need here. Then how is it possible? Because my hand is far away from the stomach, right? Here what happens, there is another system called transport system, and this transport system is responsible for, or else it is responsible for the transfer of these molecules, or else these molecules and oxygen to each and every cell. It will take the responsibility to transfer. Here one more life process, that is transportation. Transportation is a process where the molecules it is responsible to take molecules to each and every cell. Okay, ಆಯಿತು. ಈಗ each and every cellಗೂ molecules reach ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Oxygen as well as the food molecules, it will reach to each and every cell. Here the reactions will take place, what I said before, and energy is produced. Energy produce ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ATP production ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So So while this process, there are some byproducts, okay, which are formed during the chemical reaction. Byproducts form agate, and these byproducts, they may not be useful, and they may be harmful waste products, okay, and our body must eliminate such waste or harmful products from the body. We must eliminate that. For that, there is a special type of tissues which helps to eliminate this waste substances or else the waste byproducts, that is excretory system. So here excretion is also a life process, okay. So here in the excretion, so excretory system, certain organs will be present which will help for the elimination of these waste byproducts, okay, in the form of urine and feces. Here for ಹೌದು, ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟರಿ ಆರ್ಗನ್ವರೆಗೂ ಬೈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹೇಗೆ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಹೌ ಡು ದೇ ರೀಚ್? If it is the question, it is also processed by transportation. Here again transport system will help for the transport of waste byproducts to the excretory system. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಬೈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ರೀಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಗೇನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ಓಕೆ. So here this all process together, process together will perform a maintenance job which is called as life process, okay. Now let us study one by one about this life process. So first one, coming to the nutrition. So as I said before, nutrition is a process where the chemical molecules are supplied to the body to form energy, okay, as well as for the repair and maintenance process. So in the nutrition, source of energy is needed, right? Source of energy in the form of food, what I said before, and this food is based on the complexity of carbon sources, like different organisms will adapt different mode of nutrition. So again there is a difference. Here what happens, on the mode of different nutritional process, animals are divided into two types. One is autotrophs, and another one is heterotrophs, okay. These two are different type of organisms, okay, which involve different mode of nutrition. In autotrophs what happens? So coming to the autotrophs, in autotrophs these living organisms use inorganic carbon sources as well as the source of light to form the food or else to form the energy. As I said before, if I take example of plants, here plants they will use carbon dioxide and water, which are inorganic carbon sources. I repeat, inorganic carbon sources, carbon dioxide and water, and with the involvement of sunlight, okay, with the involvement of sunlight they will produce the energy, okay. For autotrophs include all the plants, okay, all the plant species as well as some bacteria. Coming to the heterotrophs, here heterotrophs are the organisms which consume the complex carbon sources, okay. which consume the complex carbon sources as food, and these complex sources must be broken down and it must form a uniform sources. Okay, here heterotrophs is nothing but the organisms which feed on autotrophs, and other animals, they will depend on other living organisms for the source of food, whereas autotrophs, they will prepare their own food and that food they will utilize it for the production of energy. Okay, and heterotrophs include all the animals. Okay, it will include all the animals. So here there are two types of animals, and based on these animals the nutrition process is also different, that is autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Coming to the autotrophic nutrition, so here in autotrophic nutrition, as I said before, the autotrophs, the animals which utilize the inorganic carbon sources, that is carbon dioxide and water, in the presence of sunlight, they will prepare their own food. Okay, and this mode of nutrition or else this process is called as autotrophic nutrition. If we consider a plant, let us take a plant and let us study how it prepare its own food and how this food is utilized in the formation of energy. So let us take an example of plant again. So here plant will use light source and inorganic carbon compounds like water and carbon dioxide, and it will produce the food which is carbohydrates. The food is stored in the form of carbohydrate, and the stored food is utilized in some time later. Okay, over time the food is utilized, but for the initial or else for the instant energy, it will use some of the food source and remaining it will store in the form of carbohydrate, that is starch. Okay, and here carbohydrates are produced, and that is glucose. Okay, carbohydrates, nothing but glucose are produced. These glucose are converted into complex carbohydrates. Okay, let us see. Okay, before that, here we have light source. Okay, we have light source and we have carbon dioxide, water. Plant will prepare its own food by using this. What about us? We all also have carbon dioxide in the environment, water, we get sunlight. Why don't we produce our own food? Why can't we produce our own food? If it is the question, because we can't produce our own food because the plants have a special type of component, that is chloroplast. Okay, I'll write a diagram. Okay, I'll write a diagram to explain about the chloroplast. Consider this as a leaf. On the leaf anta ankoli, I'll cut this leaf here. Okay, if it is the leaf, I'll cut this here and I'll get the cross section, and I must take a thin section over here. Idana thin section agi again nanu cut ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Okay, I'll cut this thin section here, and if we see this under the microscope, the leaf will have epidermis, upper epidermis. Okay, and it will have the cells which contain chloroplast. Okay, I'll write chloroplast in green color. So it will contain chloroplast, and nucleus is also present. Consider this as a rough diagram as I am writing quickly. So this will be lower epidermis, and in lower epidermis there are guard cells. Okay, this is a upper epidermis with a waxy layer on top, and upper epidermis chloroplast, and lower epidermis and guard cells. Okay, if you see under microscope, you will get some sort of structures like this, some sort of cells like this. Here waxy layer will be present, upper and lower epidermis will be present, and inside, in between these two epidermis, there are cells which contain chloroplast. Okay, and these chloroplasts are responsible for the production of food. What is this production of food? I am repeating it, right? So production of food is a type of process called as photosynthesis. Okay, the photosynthesis will take place by the help of chloroplast in the leaves. Okay, not only in the leaves, whatever the green structures you find in the plant, like stem, some stem, branches, whatever there, if they are green, they will contain chloroplast, and in the presence of chloroplast, obviously photosynthesis will take place. Here chloroplast will absorb the energy, okay, from the light. So it will absorb the light energy, so it will get the initial energy, and by that energy it will again absorb the CO2 and water. Okay, and this CO2 and water will combine to form the glucose. Okay, so glucose, which is in the form of monosaccharide, it will form the glucose, and this glucose will be utilized in the energy formation in plants, that is ATP, and some remaining glucose which is present, it will be stored in the form of form of carbohydrate, that is starch. Okay, so this is the rough diagram which I have drawn here, and chloroplast, they are important. Okay, they are necessary because the initial process is it will absorb the sunlight and it will get some initial energy. After that it will absorb the carbon dioxide and water, and these two combine to form the glucose, that is carbohydrate. Let us write the reaction hope you all got the concept of chloroplast. Now, what I said the inorganic carbon sources are used, right? That is carbon dioxide and water is used in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is a pigment, okay, which is present in the chloroplast. So this chlorophyll is responsible for the color, the green color. It is responsible for the green color. Then what about the other plants which are not green in color, right? Let us complete this reaction. I'll tell about that later, okay? Here carbon dioxide and H2O, these two are inorganic complexes, carbon complexes. In the presence of sunlight and the involvement of chlorophyll, okay, see here, carbohydrate. Here carbon is present as a product and hydrate, water is present, okay, and also it will release oxygen. While this process, oxygen is also released and water is also produced. Water is also released, okay. So here I think reaction is not balanced. Here what happens? There are okay, the reaction is balanced. Have written 6 here. It is because the carbohydrates, that is glucose, contain 6 carbon atoms, okay, C6, 6 carbon atoms, H12 and O6. It will contain 12 hydrogen and 6 oxygens. So C6, H12, O6, that is glucose. So by the utilization of carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, glucose is produced. Along with that, oxygen is produced. So now this is the food for the plants. It will use it for the energy generation, energy to produce energy in the body. I have some doubts regarding this, okay. I think you all may have that. We have oxygen, okay, and we all have studied till now that oxygen is thrown out from the plant. It will release the oxygen, it will absorb the carbon dioxide, right? Here oxygen is thrown out, then how the ATP is produced, right? For the ATP production, oxygen is also involved. Plants, what they do, they will use the oxygen. They also need oxygen. It is not that they doesn't need oxygen. It is a wrong assumption. They need oxygen. They will use the oxygen which is extra, okay, which is present in a large, it will be produced in a large amount. It will utilize some of the oxygen. The remaining oxygen it will exhale, okay, and that is one point. Here one more point which I said before, that chlorophyll is responsible for the pigment, that is green pigment. What about other plants? Some plants have red leaves. I think you may all have noticed. Some have red leaves, some have yellowish leaves, right? Do photosynthesis takes place in that plants? So if it is the question, then yes, photosynthesis will also take place, because here the chlorophyll pigment, it will be reduced, okay, it will be suppressed, and other pigments like erythrocytes, okay, they will be responsible in the formation of red or purplish color. Erythrocyte, they will be highlighted. in that type of plants also the photosynthesis will takes place. So this was about the photosynthesis process. I said there will be gaseous exchange, right? ಇಲ್ಲಿ gaseous exchange ಆಗುತ್ತೆ plants ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಹೇಗೆ? How do the gaseous exchange takes place in plants? So gaseous exchange will takes place by help of stomata. By the help of stomata. I wrote a guard cell in the lower epidermis before, right? So that guard cells are responsible for the gaseous exchange. Let us write the diagram of stomata. Okay. So it is not a flower, it is a stomata. These are the subsidiary cells and this is a guard cell. Okay, and here the exchange of gases takes place by opening and closing of stomata. Here not inhale, the plants will, what I said, plants will inhale or exhale. No, the opening and closing of stomata is responsible for the exchange of gases. Here what happens, when the plant need carbon dioxide, the stomata will be opened. When the plant does not need carbon dioxide, the stomata will be closed. Then why this opening and closing mechanism? Why this needed? During gaseous exchange, not only gas exchanges but also some amount of water is lost through the stomata. Like water is also produced in the plants, the reaction you saw before, right? Here water is also produced and water is necessary for all the plants to be hydrated, not only plants, for every individual. Here the water will be lost, that is transpiration. The water loss, whatever takes place, it is called as transpiration. And to avoid this transpiration, the opening and closing of stomata will take place. Here stomata right now is opened because you can see the pore right here, right? So it is a stomatal pore. If we consider the mechanism when the stomata gets open, okay, here stomata will be opened when the water enters the guard cell. ಯಾವಾಗ ವಾಟರ್ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ದ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಬಲ್ಜ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ swollen up and this swollen up guard cell will produce a pore and through this pore gaseous exchange will take place. Okay, in case of opening, when stomata is opened. Then in case of closed stomata, okay, here what happens, when the when the carbon dioxide is not needed for the plant, then the stomata will be closed. Here the water will go out of the cell. Okay, water will go out of the cell and the guard cell will be shrinked, it will be shrunken, and this will leads to the close of this pore. The pore will be closed over here, here what I said, and this pore is called as stomatal pore. So this pore will be closed. So here it is due to the turgor pressure. The turgor pressure creates the opening and closing end of stomata over here. Okay, so this was all about the autotrophic mode of nutrition. Here the nutrition is gained by the here the nutrition process is taken, or else the process is done by the utilization of inorganic carbon sources. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, it will produce the food. Okay, and this food is utilized for the formation of energy, and the remaining food, whatever is present, okay, it will convert into complex carbohydrates. that is starch. Starch is one of the carbohydrate which have a complex composition compared to glucose. So here the carbohydrates are present in the form of starch. So in human beings also, when we eat, the remaining energy is produced, like glucose will produce the energy. The remaining glucose which is present, it will be stored in the form of glycogen. So here, as in plants, it will store the starch, and in human beings the glycogen will be the glucose will be converted into glycogen, and glycogen will be stored in our body. In case any if we need energy, if we don't eat, if we need energy, this glycogen is again converted into glucose, and glucose will help in the formation of energy in our body. We will study this later, but till now, so I think hope you all understood about autotrophic nutrition, right? So till now we had studied about different life processes, and one of the life process, that is nutrition. In that we had studied about autotrophic nutrition. In the next class, let us discuss about heterotrophic nutrition and the nutrition in human beings. Human beings are also heterotrophs. So let us study about heterotrophic nutrition which takes place in human beings. So thank you.